All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha, Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And as always, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And in this video, I'm going to be going back to the basics. Today, I wanted to go into the destruction of Babylon. Okay, and how the destruction of Babylon will be linked to, the salvation of the Lord's elect, whosoever they may be out there. How it will lead to them winning. Okay, so now I just wanted to start off with saying that in order to understand the destruction of Babylon, well, you must first understand what Babylon is in the Holy Scriptures, okay? Because a lot of people see the word Babylon in the Holy Scriptures, and it's not, of course it's talking about ancient Babylon because, well, Babylon is mentioned twice in the Holy Scriptures, okay? Now, the first time Babylon is mentioned, it is mentioned in the book of Genesis. And it was known as the Tower of Babel. When you go into the Tower of Babel, you understand that that tower was built out of rebellion toward the Heavenly Father. Okay, and a matter of fact, the man who came up with the idea to build the Tower of Babel, okay, his name was Nimrod. Now, when you go into the name Nimrod, it goes back to the Hebrew word Namrod, which means rebellion. Now, it has other meanings to it, but I want to focus on the name rebellion. Okay, so the Tower of Babel, the building of that tower in the book of Genesis was led by a man by the name of Namrod. Okay, I believe that's spelled N-A-M-R-A-D. Because remember, there's no O, there's no U, there's no E, there's no J, and there's no V in the Paleo Hebrew alphabet. So, okay, so this was led by a man whose name was Rebellion, whose name means rebellion. Okay, and they built this tower to see if they could reach the heavens. Now, of course, in Genesis, the 11th chapter, okay, it tells you that everybody on the planet was of one language, and that one language was Hebrew. Okay, everybody on the planet used to speak Hebrew at one point, but what led to these other nations speaking different languages was when the Lord sent an angel in the book of Genesis, the 11th chapter, to basically, bring about confusion amongst these other nations who were coming together to build this tower. And that confusion came from everybody speaking different languages so that they couldn't understand one another, Then ultimately, the Tower of Babel was destroyed. It was taken down by an angel. Now, it's important to understand this because modern day Babylon is going to be taken down by angels, especially when Yahushua returns. Okay? So, you know, when you look at today's time, every nation on the planet is speaking different language. You got Chinese, they're speaking Cantonese. You got Japanese, they're speaking Japanese. You got Taiwanese, they're speaking Kanji. North Koreans, South Koreans, you know, I believe Sheol or something like that is their language. I can't remember, but okay. You know, the Africans, they speak Swahili. The Ishmaelites, you know, I believe they speak a little bit of Hebrew. Okay. The Yiddish people, they speak Yiddish. I'm talking about the Ish people, they speak Yiddish. Not really sure what the Hawaiians speak. Americans speak English. Europeans, you know, they speak a little bit of French. They speak a little bit of Italian, you know. The Spanish, they speak a little bit of Spanish, okay? So when you look at today's time, it's the exact same thing. Now, there is indeed a Tower of Babel being built today, even as I speak. But it's not a physical tower. This one is a digital tower. You see, they're setting up a digital system under the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, spoken of in Daniel the 7th chapter. And we know that in Daniel the 7th chapter, amongst that fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, there sprung up from it a little horn, okay? And this little horn would be the revival of Rome, which came about during the Renaissance period. Okay. And this revival of Rome would also come to be known as Babylon the Great in the book of Revelation. Okay. Babylon the Great, or Mystery Babylon the Great. And the reason why it was called a mystery was because, you know, this kingdom would be diverse from any other kingdom that ever was upon the face of the earth. So, you know, what we're experiencing right now is we're experiencing a new Babylon, okay, where the highest form of confusion would take place here upon the face of the earth. Okay, confusion is at an all-time high because of this society. You know, this country, which is known as Babylon the Great, you know, it's nothing but a huge melting pot of confusion. You know, this is the only country that allows multiple religions to be kept at. Okay, you got a little bit of East Indians living here promoting Hinduism. You got a little bit of Japanese here, Chinese, promoting Buddhism. Okay, you got Ham, they coming up here with their Egyptian gods. Okay, Horus, you know, the moon god. You see, but the main form of worship in this country is Satan worship. Okay, the main form of worship in this society is Satan worship. So, you know, when you got all these different, you know, so-called religions in this country trying to promote their beliefs on you, it brings nothing but confusion. I mean, you got Christianity over here, you got Catholicism over here. Okay, women worship. There's all different kinds of gods being worshipped over here. The Rastafari, the Shiva Jatas, you know. So this country is nothing but one big cesspool of confusion. And all of this confusion comes from what? Being pushed virtually upon the people. Because whatever Jake see on TV, he mimics. So if he see a rap star, you know, which I believe Lil Wayne was the one who started, you know, pushing dreads upon our people. Because, you know, Lil Wayne was once a very popular rapper back in the days. So, you know, Jake seeing Lil Wayne, and then after Lil Wayne, you had other rappers that came up after him, basically sporting dreads, you know, coming with these so-called cold beats and these demonic psychobabble rants, okay? It led to what? Jake sporting dreads, you know? You got, you know, Esau used our people to promote women worship, simpism. And what do you see now? You got Jake's buying cars. Oh, baby, I'll do anything for you. You're my queen. Not knowing that the word queen, which the proper way of spelling it is Quean. Okay. The word queen literally means a whore, you know. And what do it say in the book of Deuteronomy concerning the children and the daughters of Israel? There shall be no sodomites of the children of Israel, neither shall there be any whores of the daughter of Israel. So, you know, this is where we're at, man. We're literally living in the new Babylon, which is also known as the great whore that sitteth upon the scarlet-colored beast. Now, the scarlet-colored beast is NATO, okay? The 7 heads, which are 7 governments. The 10 horns are 10 cities, which make up the European economic community, or the European Union as we know it today. And the 7 heads, which will be, again, 7 kingdoms or 7 governments. Germania Major, Germania Minor, okay? The French, the Spanish, the British, the Romans, and the Greeks, okay? Those are your 7 heads right there. So when we read Isaiah chapter 13, verse 19, okay, we understand that there is a great judgment that is tied to Babylon, okay? And before we read that, let's figure out why there is a great judgment tied to Babylon. If we come over here to Jeremiah chapter 50, okay, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14, what do we read here? Okay, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. Now the bow is a metaphor, a dark saying for the intercontinental ballistic missiles, okay? So we know that Babylon is going to be judged by fire, and that fire is going to come from what the Bible calls arrows, okay? Which the arrows is just a metaphor, a dark saying for missiles. The proof of that is when you go to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, where it speaks about arrows being shot to the ends of the earth. So okay, it says shoot at her, all ye that bend the bow. The bow represents the silos in which the intercontinental ballistic missiles sit in, okay? Shoot at her, spare no arrows. Why? For she have sinned against the Lord, okay? You know, and that's why there is a great judgment tied to Babylon, because this country have sinned against the Lord. And how have this country sinned against the Lord? Its way of living, well, what it promotes on the planet, what it allows on the planet. Okay, and the matter of fact, let's figure out what some of those ways of living is that is being promoted here in Babylon. Okay, if we come over here to Habakkuk, you know, Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4, it says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So the soul, you know, the people who have rule and control over Babylon, the scriptures tell you that their soul is not upright in them. Why? Because they were created to be the wicked, which when you look up the word wicked in google.com, it literally means evil or morally wrong. Okay. So now I'm going to read verse 5. Verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. So right there alone, when I read the scripture, it says that he transgresseth by wine. Now, when we go into that word wine, what you need to understand is that this is not talking about actual wine. This wine right here is a metaphor for his way of living. And what is the foundation for America's way of living? Is democracy. Now, America's democracy comes with what? Homosexuality, philosophy, idolatry, murder, lies, adultery, okay, pedophilia, bestiality. But there is a foundation to where this democracy comes from. This democracy was built upon the foundation of a doctrine that comes from a particular man who was once alive, who went by the name of Aleister Crowley. Now, when you do your research on Aleister Crowley, he was one of the most wicked individuals that ever walked the face of the earth, okay? You know, and this man was so wicked that his mother even called him the beast, okay? Whatever that means. But, you know, Aleister Crowley was a man who practiced dark magic. You know, he was a man that was into pedophilia, okay? Worshipping of demons, Satan. You see? So, you know, basically, the rulers here in America basically subscribed to that idea, that ideal way of living of doest thou wilt. Okay? And that's why, you know, when you look at America's democracy, it is very much similar to the Aleister Crowley doctrine, okay? And the ones who mainly practice these Aleister Crowley doctrine or practices, the main ones who mainly do this is these high-ranking officials, okay? They call themselves your Republicans, your Democrats, okay? You know, they call themselves your congressmen, your representatives, you know, the left wing, the Senate. These are the ones who's mainly practicing that Aleister Crowley shit, okay? While the average American citizens have the right to practice a portion of their Aleister Crowley doctrine. That's why here in America, you could be a Mo, okay? You can marry a horse. You can smoke, get tattoos. You can walk around with different color hair. You know, you can basically do what you want to do as long as you're not breaking Esau's laws. You know, you could be a transformer, a pedo, you know, because America's democracy is built upon the foundation of the Aleister Crowley doctrine, do as thou wilt. That's why lies are promoted heavily here. That's why philosophies are promoted heavily here in this society. Okay? So yea, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. And this is how Babylon have sinned against the Lord, by their way of living, which derives from America's democracy, which derives from, do as thou wilt shall be the will of the law, which was invented by Aleister Crowley. Okay, neither keepeth at home, right? Because the U.S. military always got militaries in different countries, garrisons, bases, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Hell's talking about the earth, because the earth is not a paradise right now. It is a hell. Why? Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the earth is in a state of hell right now. Okay, that's your hell. Hell is here on earth. People are suffering every single day. Everywhere you look, you got riots, you got protests, you got civil wars, you got civil unrest. There's always some kind of news coming out from a building getting blown up by a drone missile. Somebody getting shot. Some land is under attack. Some rumor of war. Some testing of intercontinental ballistic missiles. So this world is hell, and is as death and cannot be satisfied, because the ways of these people are the ways of death. But gathereth unto them all nations, and heapeth unto them all people. So you can better understand. Okay. Okay. So, also concerning Babylon's way of living, let's go to Isaiah 24 real quick, okay? Okay, Isaiah 24, verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Why? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, okay? And the wicked has no interest in the well-being of the planet or the people that live therein within the planet, okay? So the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. What laws? They have transgressed the laws of the Heavenly Father. Okay. Now, when you go to the book of Psalms, the 50th chapter, what did the Lord say concerning Edom? What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instructions and casteth my words behind thee? So these Edomites, the self-proclaimed white man, starting with the so-called elites, trickling down to the rest of the nation of people, they have no interest in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Okay, they have no interest in those things. Okay, that's why when you read Isaiah 26 verse 29 verse 16, what does it say? Okay, surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. Because these devils have everything upside down in this society. Okay, a woman is basically the head of a household. She has authority over the house when the man is supposed to. They sell pork in the markets, and they sell it for dirt cheap. So it's easily and readily available to those who can't afford beef or chicken. You see, They're mixing pork with candy, beef. They're putting human meat in food. Okay, they're genetically splicing food now. Well, they've been doing it, you know, genetically modified seeds. You know, they're promoting vaccines that kill people. You know, so instead of giving people herbs, you know, at these hospitals to heal their sicknesses, they're giving them, you know, the 2-step effective jab, which is what? It's knocking motherfuckers out and sending their asses back to the spirit world. So, I mean, you know, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof because they have transgressed the laws of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. The Lord said, keep the land Sabbath. You know, Esau said, nah, you know, I'm about to, you know, dig and plant and you know, I'm going to do this shit for 24 years. And if I see any bugs on my crops, I'm going to create pesticides and, you know, like, you know, spraying dissolved human remains on crops and pesticides on crops. And this is what they're selling in the markets. That's why before you eat apples, oranges, berries, you know, you know, it's always good to wash your fruit off. And even if you use tap water to wash off your fruit, right? Well, I mean, look what's in the tap water. Microcosmic shrimp, fluoride, lead, you know, chlorine. You know, perfluorooctanic acid. And you putting all this on your fruit as you're rinsing it off. So there's just no escape, man. You know, this man is as death because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. Right? Therefore have the curse devoured the earth. Okay? And they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned and few men left. And ultimately, that's what's coming, okay? Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned. You know what's going to burn their ass? Nuclear fire, you know, which is going to be the perfect cleansing agent. So you see, now when we come back over here to Jeremiah, okay, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 14, okay? You see, that's why there is a great judgment tied to Babylon, because she has sinned against the Lord. And how have she sinned against the Lord? By the way they allow people to live over here on the land, by what they're doing to the earth. Okay? You know what? Another precept just came to my mind. Bear with me for one moment, because they're spraying chemtrails in the air. Okay, they're poisoning the water. You know, and the shit they're spraying in the air is breaking down people's immune system. It's making them sick. It's making them nauseated. You know, it's giving them migraines, headaches. It's giving them runny noses. It's fucking with their allergies, you know. And then they're putting all kinds of abominations in the food. They're putting rat shit in chocolate. They're putting animal rennet, which comes from pork and the cheese, you know. That's why me and my bro Yashawan, we stopped eating Flamin' Hots a long time ago, man. Because we found out that they was putting pork in the cheese used to make that shit. You know, they putting pork in Skittles, Starbursts. Really? Starbursts? Okay, they're putting cow snot in milk, cow pus in milk, you know. They're releasing mosquitoes into the genetically modified mosquitoes into the environment that if they bite people, they get very, very sick, you know. You know, they're dumping all kinds of nuclear waste, metals, harmful toxins, plastics into the oceans, the rivers, the lakes.
I did a few roofs this summer, and it's never again.
You see what I mean? You know, they're dumping nuclear waste into the water supply. They're dumping trash from that these different city dumps or landfills into the oceans when they run out of room. I mean, why else do you got fishes beaching themselves? You got, you got all manner of sea creatures beaching themselves because they can't get enough oxygen out of their own habitats to live in the ocean. So let's see what the Lord have to say about that. Revelation chapter 11 verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great. And shouldest what? Shouldest destroy them which destroyed the earth. And how's the Lord going to destroy them? They're going to be judged by nuclear fire. And the ones of them that survived the nuclear destruction, right? The Lord is going to, which the so-called elites and the super rich and the high-ranking officials, they are going to survive the nuclear destruction. But guess what? They're going to go right into slavery. And that's according to Psalms chapter 149. So now if we go back to Jeremiah, right? Chapter 50, verse 14. Okay. It says what? Put yourselves in array against Babylon, which is the United States of America, round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. Why? For she have sinned against the Lord. And that's why there's a great judgment tied to this kingdom, because this kingdom have sinned against the Lord. In the way how this world is managed, all the evil and wicked deeds that's being done on the planet. And they say, who seeth us, who knoweth us? Right? That's their attitude, that these rats, they sit deep underground inside the deepest crack in the crevices of the earth. And they sit here and do all this wickedness. And their attitude is, who seeth us, who knoweth us? Okay? Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. Okay? I believe that's Isaiah 29 as well. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. Okay? Which the only type of walls of protection that America have around this country is this missile defense system, which in that day, the Lord's going to shut them things down. So those ICBMs can come over here and do what they do. Okay? For it is the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Take vengeance upon her as she have done, do unto her, right? And you can tie that to Revelation 18, where it says do unto her, double unto her, double according to the cup which she have filled to her double. Revelation 18 and 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works in the cup which she have filled to her double. You see? So America's going to receive double what they've done. This country has done nothing but went around the world bombing people, bringing destruction, stealing resources. So the Lord is going to allow these countries to come over here and do the exact same thing to America. So all them bombs and shit that America dropped on these countries are going to do this. They're going to return the favor to this place. Okay? They're going to return the favor to this place. Okay? So now let's go to Isaiah 13, verse 16. It says, well, let's start at 19, right? And Babylon, right, which is America, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, how was ancient Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed? Ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by fire and brimstone. Now, fire and brimstone is mentioned in the book of Revelation, the 14th chapter, showing you that America is the new Babylon, because one of the most wicked practices that goes on here in Babylon that went on in ancient Sodom and Gomorrah was what? Pedophilia, bestiality, incest, orgies, where you have three men where you have three men on one man. Okay, you might have two men on a one boy. Okay, you might have three women on a one man. You know, orgies. Okay, men running trains on women. Like you see what I'm saying? Or in some cases, it might be three men on a one little girl. Okay, you know. So those same practices are going on here in America, especially amongst Pizzagate and these secret societies. You got men running around butt ass naked in the Bohemian Grove. You know, they have these different islands, which are secret islands where nobody's permitted to go to, where basically children who end up getting kidnapped, children who come up missing, they end up being sex slaves on these different islands. Okay, they call them pedophile islands. Okay. Okay, and I don't need to tell you what they're doing to these children on them islands, man. Sodomizing them, having these children blow rod, you know, eat box. And we're talking about men that are in their 50s and 60s doing this too, man. 30-year-old men, 20-year-old men, they're all doing this shit, man. All these. So guess what? Babylon's going to receive that same judgments that Sodom and Gomorrah received. Now, the difference is that back in the ancient Sodom and Gomorrah, the fire and brimstone came from the angels because the Lord sent his angels to destroy that place. Well, guess what? The Lord's going to send his angels in this time to destroy this place. This place is going to get zapped by angels. Okay, so verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Why? Because after the fire and the smoke go out from this country, which is Babylon, it's going to be one big desert once the fire and the smoke is cleared out. So this place is not going to be a country that's ever going to be dwellable. You know, instead, this place is going to serve as a eternal memorial, an example to you know, any country upon the face of the earth that would live ungodly. This is the most ungodly kingdom upon the face of the earth, being ruled by the wicked. Okay. So, but wild beasts of the desert, the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. Okay. These are all creatures that can survive in a desert. Okay, and her time is near to come. Her days shall not be prolonged. Okay. So, you know, let's go to Malachi. Okay. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. You see? Because back in the ancient world, the oven would get extremely hot, especially if it was preheated. Now, ovens would normally be made from stone because rocks are real good for preventing fire from traveling, you know, from a certain, you know, vicinity. Okay? And all, it says, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And stubble is like a form of wood. Okay? So the people here on the soils of America that are living a life of wickedness, okay, they're living after the manner of that Aleister Crowley doest thou wilt spirit. Their asses are going to be likened unto wood. Okay, firewood, and the day cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Boom. Okay, let's go to 1 Peter. If I can find it. 1 Peter chapter 4. And let me see. Shall I start at? Where should I start at? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So you know what? Let's go to 2 Peter. Let's go to 2 Peter. Okay. Let's go to 2 Peter. And I'll start at chapter 3, verse, let's see. Okay, 2 Peter 3, verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And that all there is talking about Israelites. Okay. Yahushua did not come to die on the cross for some fucking heathens. Point blank, period. Okay. Yahushua died only for the sins of the nation of Israel, and it really starts with the elect on this side of the nation of Israel. Okay, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, into which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. And where's that great noise going to come from? That great noise is going to come from the loud, intense sound of the loud, intense sound of the explosion of nuclear warheads. Okay. You know, and a matter of fact, you know, I've heard somebody set up a dynamite before, and that shit was so loud that it startled damn near everybody in the neighborhood. Because, you know, on the 4th of July, you're allowed to buy like fireworks that has the equivalent firepower of dynamite, and that shit was loud. Boom. You know, now imagine the sound of the explosion of nuclear warheads. Okay, we're talking about windows getting shattered, car alarms going off. Okay, people bleeding out of their eardrums, people going deaf. Okay, you see? And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. You see that? And what's going to melt this place with fervent heat? The word fervent means extremely hot. What's going to melt this place with extremely hot heat? That's going to be the fire of intercontinental ballistic missiles. The fire that's going to come from the explosion of those nuclear warheads. Because according to the book of Revelation, you know, this country is going to be hit with 200 million nuclear warheads. Okay, 200 million nuclear warheads. Okay. So everything you see around you is going to melt, you know, because let me tell you something about fire. Fire is a excellent cleansing agent. Okay, fire is an excellent cleansing agent. So everything you see around you is going to melt here in America. From the chairs you sit in, from the ground that you stand on, to the street poles, the bikes, the street lights, the vehicles, the buildings. Everything is going to melt into lava, which is liquid fire. So you can better understand. Everything here is going to fucking melt. okay? Street lights, poles, you know, factories, businesses, corporations, they're all going to be melted here in America, okay? Including people, like it tells you in Zechariah, okay? Their eyes shall consume away as they stand upon their feet. Let me see if I can find that, because Zechariah saw the division of the nuclear destruction. Okay. This shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite everybody that fought against Jerusalem. Oh my God, man. I don't think I can remember which scripture it was. Okay. I mean, I have to get ready to clock in too, so I'm gonna have to cut this video short. I have to clock in now. You know, I'm actually kind of pushing the time that I have. Okay, so let's go back to 2 Peter 3:12. Okay, so seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being set on fire, or being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. You see that? Fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because out of the nuclear destruction is going to come what? A new heaven and a new earth, which will begin with Yahweh's return, the elect getting beamed up, and then the elect coming back down from out of Yahweh's chariot as New Jerusalem, enslaving the so-called elites and the high-ranking officials across the globe, putting their ass in slavery, and, you know, restoring paradise into the earth once again. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.